I don't know why I have to make this video, but it just feels right. And the place this is coming from is it's not from some sort of apologist kind of mindset or apologist kind of mood, or all of a sudden I feel so horrible for the things I've said. And I actually do believe all the things I've said, but I think a lot of where I come from in these videos, in terms of everything around them, in terms of the periphery, the medium I choose, the subject I choose, but not the subject itself, everything around it, the marketing messaging, I take it for granted sometimes I'm doing this on YouTube and Facebook, etc., etc. So I automatically assume that people have some sort of volition or control, despite my views on free will, when it comes to watching them or reading them or even paying attention to them, for that matter. And I think for the large part, I put these things across as very benignly as possible in terms of the medium. The subject matter, as I alluded to earlier, is a little bit more. I wouldn't say focused, but I'd say it's. I would even say it's kind of populist material. Like it's something that is the going trend of the day, as supported by some of the articles I post on Facebook. The declining numbers of religion in the UK, for instance. I mean, so the topic is kind of populist, and it is a lot of it is kind of even basic compared to the echelons you could get to in philosophy and in theology. You can get pretty high up there in terms of complexity and sophistication. So the stuff I put across is essentially just basic, but the reason I do these videos is because there aren't any arguments that I've ever seen in Canada addressing atheism specifically. I mean, recently there's been half of Parliament that's basically been sworn in and have chosen to, like I've said before, chose to omit, so help me God from their swearing in oaths. So I mean, it's not like it's an issue that isn't out there and very public, but it is an issue I've never really seen any direct debate on, except for, and the only debates I've seen, and this is kind of telling you where I'm getting my source material from, is from basically Americans and people like whatever happens in the U.S. anyway. And I do belong to that group, Atheist Nexus, which is largely a U.S. site. So so sometimes even my commentary may seem like it's going after a segment that isn't necessarily Canadian, because we just don't talk about atheism in Canada, not out of fear or anything. It's not such a heavy-handed issue, but I don't feel like I lie in terms of who I'm addressing. I mean, the site itself, Spiralvent.ca, there's a lot of articles on there that directly relate to the videos, and the videos directly relate to the articles, and you can see where they're coming from. They're coming from the UK, from the United States, and even some in Canada. That being said, I don't want to say that it's not an important issue in Canada. I would say it is an important issue in Canada. It's just that I've never seen any hot debate on it. It occasionally comes across on TVO or even CBC sometimes when people are, I'm not a big TV guy, but so maybe that's where I'm lacking as well. But it comes across when people like Lawrence Krauss or Richard Dawkins get invited to talk. I've often been wondering if Sam Harris would make a good TVO the agenda guest. It would be interesting. He seems like it would be an odd interview, but I don't know. I could be. He's not exactly pro-Muslim, but I don't know. It might be a good matchup. I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, so that's. I think you got my message. I'm just saying that I'm also very open about who I am in terms of my identity online. I mean, that's the other aspect of the medium I choose, that I can obfuscate my identity, but I choose not to, because I think it's important that if you're going after something that is so cherished and so genuinely believed in, I think at least I'm not asking for something I don't want, but I'm fairly open there in terms of my identity and in terms of who I am and what I believe. So I think it's important to have that facet of honesty in these videos that I make. And they're open to comments. They're open to they're like I'm saying, I'm not really asking for something I don't want, but I can't know what I don't want sometimes. Same goes for what I want, but I'm just saying there's an honesty there. I'm not lying about who I am. So anyway, that's the video for now. I'm not saying I'm completely focused, but what I'm saying is I think the materials within themselves kind of give a good general idea of the actuality of the topic. So hopefully, I don't know, no one's probably even going to watch this video, but hopefully that satisfies some appetites, if there are any out there feeling me out and looking at me, right? So yeah, that's about it. Bye.